Good evening and welcome to the first edition of Miami County Monthly News.
It is our goal to bring you positive monthly news from around Miami County, Indiana.
Our first story tonight comes from the little town of Miami, Indiana in southern Miami County. They have a unique Christmas tradition that has been around for over 70 years. The first Saturday in December, the community comes together to put up a large Christmas tree in the middle of the intersection of Fulton and Elm Streets.
Just before Christmas, the little community has their own Christmas celebration. This year, they had it on December 21st, and MCMN had a camera there to record the festivities.
Santa Claus?
You better watch out. You better not try.
Oh, sorry.
Hello, everyone. Come on.
Merry Christmas.
We'll find out who's naughty.
Hi, how are you? Let's make a Alright, good job, okay? Merry Christmas, buddy. How are you?
Okay.
You been a good boy? You really have to be a bad boy now. There's no way you can be bad. You should be good. What could Santa try to be in this shit?
That's the right
Hi, how are you? Have you been a good boy this year? Yeah.
The line for Santa.
Yes, I have!
Awesome!
Robot! And a Nerf gun! Yeah, and a new Power Ranger magic gun, please.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Okay.
Jared!
Jared, will you stand and Santa so I can get a picture? I filled out the paperwork. The doctor's
And this is at the Miami Methodist Church, where everybody gathers after the tree ceremony to share camaraderie, food. They're having hot chocolate and cookies this year. It was exceptionally warm. Normally people come down here to warm up. Let's take a look inside. These are some of the ladies that contributed. These folks helped put this on here at the church.
We missed almost all the last week.
That's cool. That's perfect.
The town of Miami has a population of just over 200 people. What an amazing small town tradition and celebration.
Some of the residents claim to have the first roundabout in the state of Indiana.
We were able to interview lifelong resident Jack Piercy about the history and tradition of the Christmas tree. He was about 5 years old when the tradition began.
Well, they say that the first one was in 39. Some people say they talked about it in 39 and put the first one up in 40. But there's been a few older ones said they thought it was 2 or 3 years earlier than that. So nobody knows for absolute certain.
Have they ever missed a year?
Long in there about probably 53, 54, 55, long in there. They didn't put it up and then they started again.
So what's the process? How does it work?
Well, we usually somebody around has got a tree they want to get rid of. So you can have that tree for this Christmas. We cut it down, take it up there and set it up and put the lights on it. And the church here now pays for the lights. Used to at one time, the power company used to donate them free. Before that, they were hooked into the old store building that was there beside of it, and I don't know how they paid for it then. It's been run into, maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 times maybe, in all these 70-some years. But they usually have somebody in town here that sort of takes over, and somebody has to collect money to get the treats and so forth. They usually used to have a donation can up at the post office and the stores here in town, but we don't have a post office or store anymore, so it's harder to have a can around for somebody to put donations in.
Well, how many of the Christmas trees have you seen?
Probably all of them. All of them, I think. I can't tell you which was the tallest or the biggest or littlest or prettiest, but I've seen all of them.
How many more years are they going to do this? Is it going to keep going forever?
I suppose, as long as the town wants to do it.
It's a long tradition.
Long tradition. They hate to see it stop.
Our next segment is a segment we hope to include every month here on Miami County Monthly News.
It is a segment called, Everyone Has a Story. Each month we wish to pick a person living in Miami County and tell their story.
Since we are using Regine Brindle's photos in our intro for our news, we decided to do this edition of Everyone Has a Story on Regine Brindle.
For several years now, Regine has been chronicling life in Miami County through her photographs, ranging from the circus, to the Grissom Air Museum, churches, steam engines, wildlife, including a lot of eagles, and just a lot of beautiful Miami County scenery.
We were able to catch up with Regine one cold winter day taking pictures at Bostwick Pond, at the Maconaquah, Miami SRA.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I come from Belgium. I grew up there, and I came here when I was about 18 years old. So most of my adult life has been here in Peru. I'm married. I have 5 children and 5 grandchildren. We don't get to see much of the grandchildren because they kind of live far away, but so I spend my time taking pictures. Eagles have become my grandchildren.
How long ago did you pick up the hobby or the passion of taking photographs?
I started taking pictures about 4 or 5 years ago, just taking pictures of the cemeteries with my phone. And while I was at the cemeteries, I would just see wildlife coming in, and it was kind of nice. And my husband decided that I needed to do better than with just a phone, so he bought me a camera. It was a bit much of a camera for me, but I figured I better learn, so I did. I started taking pictures. There's no better way to learn than to just do something until you try. You don't know if you can or not, and that's pretty much how I started taking pictures.
You take some pretty nice pictures. Have you had any formal training in photography?
No, I haven't. Just still hit and miss for a lot of things. You just have to have a good camera. I have a good one.
So how many cameras do you own?
I'm kind of embarrassed to say, maybe too many. I have 4 little ones and 2 big ones. I like, the ones I like best are the D600 Nikon. That has a big lens. And then one I just recently got is the P900, which has a fantastic zoom. So that's the main 2 I'm using right now. I've had some incidents with my cameras which have caused me to have them replaced. The first one was here. I wanted to take a picture of the moonrise on the beach, and my camera fell in the sand. That didn't go over too well. So we replaced that one, and about 3 months later I fell in the Wabash at Hanging Rock and damaged the D600 completely, to the point where Nikon said you might as well use it as a can holder, because that's all that's good on the body's the only thing that's good on the camera. I was pretty devastated when that happened. I cried really hard, because that was one of my favorite cameras. And I was lucky enough that we replaced it, so that was good. But that's also something we think about, putting insurance on these cameras.
So you take a lot of pictures of scenery and animals in Miami County. What's your favorite thing to take pictures of?
Well, somebody once said that I like to take pictures of pretty much anything that catches my eye, and it's not untrue. I do. If something really catches my eye, that's when I stop and I take a picture. But my real passion is the eagles, and it's really what pushed me forward buying a better camera, because I wanted to get closer to these eagles. They are so far away, and you really can't get too close to them because they do fly off. So if you have a good camera with a good zoom, you can see them closer without disturbing them. So yeah, eagles are my passion.
So you spend a lot of time out here, and you seem highly motivated to get some great pictures. What kind of motivates you?
Well, being outside is fun. It's healing in many ways. But a big part of the motivation for me has been the fact that a lot of people have commented that the pictures make a difference for them. It brings them the outdoors, indoors, at a time in their life when they can't go out as much anymore, or because they're sick, or for whatever reason. So that to me is a big motivation. I feel like in a small way I can brighten up somebody else's day, and it's fun for me too, because it's more fun when you can share what you see with other people that will respond to you, rather than just so I took a picture. I have fun taking pictures, yes, but there's a lot more fun that comes from having somebody to share them with, because it goes on. It's a picture that keeps on giving, and you can look back on those pictures and recall the day, but also recall the feelings, and that's important to me.
So all this time you spend out taking pictures away from your husband, what's he think about that?
Do I have to answer that?
It's up to you.
No, I think he likes it. He likes that I take pictures. He gets more pleasure out of my pictures than I do. He's a fun person to share them with too. So he wouldn't be buying me new cameras if he didn't like it.
Right. So you have a Facebook page. What is the name of it?
I have a Facebook page that is public that is called Come and Take a Walk with Me. It's all about Miami County. It's pretty much a chronicle of Miami County. I started that exactly 2 years ago, actually. My daughter felt I was crowding my private page with all my pictures. And so she said, Mom, why don't you just start a page where you put just your pictures and you can organize them? Well, that's how it all started. And then I started getting more people. People started to follow me, and it became something that I would be motivated to go out every day to just take pictures, to post something. And that's pretty much how it all started. Now I go out pretty much every day.
Okay, one last question, or I guess an assignment. I'm going to give you some time to think about it, but I want to ask you to pick your favorite eagle picture and then send it to us at Miami County Monthly News, and we'll put it on the air.
I will do that. Thank you for asking.
All right, thank you for your time.
Amazing. She does take some beautiful photos.
Regine did send us some photos of eagles, but just as we thought, she had a hard time picking her best. Here are a few of the photos she sent us.
If you would like to see more Regine's photos, be sure to check out her Facebook page at Come and Take a Walk with Me.
You know, I grew up thinking that I would never see an eagle in my lifetime. Now, Miami County is a hot spot to go out and eagle watch.
That is why Miami County Monthly News went out on an eagle watch sponsored by the Upper Wabash Interpretive Services.
We were also able to interview Lynn N. Fager, an interpretive naturalist from the service, about eagle watching and the history of the eagles in Miami County.
We showed up dark and early at 6:30 a.m. at the boat launch at the Maconaquah SRA.
We then followed a caravan to the eagle's roost at the bridge on Francis Slocum Trail.
Then all the eagle watchers waited for the sunrise and the eagles to come out of their roosts as the eagles went hunting for their food.
Is this your first time to go out and watch the eagles?
Yeah.
Yeah?
First time.
How many have you seen?
In the spotoscope thing, I saw 5, and with my binoculars, there's 2 on the.
Where are they at?
There's a white tree that sticks out. They're on there, 2 of them. Oh, one just flew up a bit lower. Let's see if it's the same one or not.
After the eagle watch, the group then went back to the Maconaquah SRA and had breakfast with the birds. We recommend that you go on an eagle watch if you get a chance.
The interpretive service has 3 more eagle watches planned. For more information, you can call them at 260-468-2127.
After the breakfast, we were able to interview Lynn N. Fager, the interpretive naturalist at the Upper Wabash Interpretive Service.
She gave us a brief history of the eagles in Miami County and shared some suggestions if you are interested in eagle watching on your own.
Lynn, can you give us some of the history of the eagles in the Miami County area?
I can give you information on the history of eagles in Indiana. Back in the late 1800s was the last documented nest that we had in the state. And because of habitat loss and the usage of DDT, after that was banned, then our waters rejuvenated themselves. The DNR Fish and Wildlife determined that the waters were clean enough to start an eagle reintroduction program. And that was done from 1985 until 1989, where they went into Alaska and Wisconsin and took eaglets out of the nests there, brought them down to Monroe Reservoir where they had the hacking towers. And once the birds were old enough to take flight, they did so. And our first successful nest in the state of Indiana was 1991, so almost 100 years between the last nest and our first new nest, so to speak. After the birds fledge, typically they come back, they return to within around 125 mile radius of where they fledged from. And so the first nest was actually down on Lake Monroe. And since then, over the years, they have just basically traveled, up the Wabash River corridor and moved their way north. So it's been a very successful program for the state of Indiana and other states throughout the nation as well. Right now, the winter time is a great time to come to Miami County to see the winter roost, and that is comprised mainly of eagles that are coming from up north, the Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, Canada. Their waters freeze up there, and the eagle's primary goal is to eat and reproduce, and so they're coming down here to the Upper Wabash Reservoir system, which includes Roush, Salamone, and Mississinewa lakes. And we always have water that is flowing out from the dam, and so it is never frozen there. They've always got a food supply. And they've been using this roost area for, I'm going to say, a good 15 plus years. And as the national population increases, the numbers at the roost have increased along with that as well. About 4 years ago, we had a high count of 158 birds. 2 days ago, we had 87. A lot of that, like I said, varies dependent on the northern states and their weather.
Well, do you have any recommendations just for the amateur eagle watcher on, the best ways and where they should go?
Binoculars are always helpful. And spotting scopes, if you have those. Cameras are good. The areas that in this neck of the woods are going to be along the rivers. After they come into the roost in the evening, they disperse in the mornings, and they go out fishing, and they can be found usually around any waterway that is open. The Wabash is a main waterway that goes through the state, the largest, and so sometimes it's got some ice shelves on it, but they're going to find their open water. Oftentimes we see them on the ice on the reservoir when it's frozen, and there may be a pocket of water that ducks or geese have kept open, and we'll see eagles hanging around that. The dams themselves, where the tailwaters are, is a good place to see eagles. We just try to stress to people who are eagle watching or bird watching at all that the nests are federally protected, and disturbance to those nests are something that we try to steer people away from. Because oftentimes if a bird flushes from a nest and it has eggs on it, the eggs could be broken. If you've got bad weather and they've got chicks on the nest and you flush the adults, the chicks are then susceptible to hypothermia and could cause a loss of those birds. And that is when we get into federal law.
Any other do's or don'ts that people should kind of be aware of as they go out eagle watching?
Yes. For one, we have a lot of the areas that eagles are at, like the roost itself, is private property. So we ask for people not to trespass on private property just to get a better look at the birds. We oftentimes have people who post a lot of photos that are fabulous photos, and people who have the smaller lenses or the point and shoot cameras think that they should be able to get that same quality of photo with that camera opposed to what the photographer actually has, and sometimes that's a lens that is almost as big as your car. So that's what a lot of people don't realize, and they are out seeking that, that one great photo. It takes a lot of money and a lot of effort to get those. Chasing the birds, we don't advise that. Giving them their space and their respect is what we try to get people to understand.
See, you've got a beautiful bird there. Can you tell me about her?
Sure can. This is a female red-tailed hawk, and she is one of our education birds. We have her because she is permanently injured, non-releasable, and has been through a raptor rehab facility and a avian veterinarian who has deemed her release a no-go. So we keep these birds. We have, I believe, 7 of them at the Salamone Interpretive Center, and we use them for educational programs, and kind of gives people a chance to see the birds up a little closer. And hopefully when people have that experience of meeting our birds, it will then make them more aware, and aware not only of the birds but the needs of the birds, their environment, and food sources, and that type of thing. So they are an ambassador for their species, and she's a 4-pound bundle of joy.
Okay, the Interpretive Center, I see, has a lot of activities planned this winter. You have one coming up on January 23rd. What is that all about?
That would be Silence of a Winter's Night, and we are focusing on owls. And we will start the evening at 4:30, where we will have a meal, and we will make an owl box that people can take home. And we will do a program with the Salamone Interpretive Services owl education birds that we have there at the Raptor Center. And we will then also go out in search of owls and hopefully call some in.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Upper Wabash Interpretive Services has many more events and activities planned for the entire year.
If you are interested in more information and the events they have planned throughout the year, here is their webpage and Facebook page. Besides Eagle Watches, they have events planned such as hikes, youth target shooting, fishing derbies for kids, and a lot of other fun outdoor activities for the entire family.
Another monthly feature we wish to offer at Miami County Monthly News is a list of upcoming Miami County events or activities. Here is a list of what we have for this edition.
Our next edition will come out the middle of February. If you have an event you would like to have featured, email us at miami.county.monthly.news@gmail.com.
We finally got our first snowfall of 2016. So our next segment takes us to Maconaquah Park to share the long-standing tradition of sledding the hills in the park.
Alright guys, what's your names?
Jay, Mason, Maddox.
Alright. Did you guys have school today?
No.
Alright, so you're sledding instead?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is it fun?
Yeah.
What's your favorite part about it?
My favorite part about it is when maybe like doing tricks or whatever.
Tricks?
Sometimes.
How do you like walking back up that hill?
No.
You don't like that? That's not the fun part? Alright.
Horrible.
I'm gonna video.
There and walk back up.
Not me. I'm not walking down there. If I walk down there, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah, how about walk back up?
I'm not gonna do that. Alright, I'm gonna get you sledding, okay?
Emma. I'm Lily. I'm Peyton. I'm Bauer.
So you're out sledding today instead of going to school. How's that feel?
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. I'm telling your teachers.
Okay.
You don't care?
No.
So what's your favorite thing out here?
Probably. Steve.
You built yourself a ramp?
Yeah.
Does it work?
Yeah.
All right, let's see you going down it, okay?
Wow. That does look like a lot of fun, but I don't think I would like walking back up those hills either.
I'd have to agree. I can't picture you walking back up those hills either. Ha ha ha, LOL. That pretty much wraps up our January 2016 and our first edition of Miami County Monthly News. We hope you enjoyed our first edition. If you would like to provide feedback or give suggestions for future editions, please visit our Facebook page called Miami County Monthly News. See you next month.
We'll leave you tonight with a final segment which we like to call Gotta Love It. Until next time. Be safe.